All right, today we're talking camera sling bags. Suppose you've ever tried hauling your camera gear in a regular backpack. In that case, you know the struggle. It's safe, sure, but it takes forever to actually get your camera out if you're just walking around a city taking some street photos. I don't always want to stop, set my bag down, and grab my gear. So that's where a sling bag comes in. It has quick access to compact design and just enough room for what you actually need. When I'm not shooting wildlife photos, these slings allow me to take my camera and shorter lenses while walking around cities and doing more of that street photography style. So I've got three options here at three very different price points. The McKinnon 8-liter camera sling, the Llano Camera Sling, and that classic Domke F-5XB bag that's been around longer than some of us have been shooting. We're gonna break down price, features, and who each one's really for. Now let's start with price because honestly, that's probably what's gonna make your decision a little bit easier. The Llano Sling comes in at around $35, depending on sales and promotions. That Domke runs about $140, and the McKinnon 8-liter jumps to about $170. So the question is, what does that extra money actually get you? Don't necessarily think that most expensive is gonna be the best. Now let's take a closer look. The McKinnon Sling feels like a premium travel bag. It's sleek, structured, and honestly built like a tank. Check out the link in the description for my full review of the McKinnon photo bag system that is great for travel. In this sling, you've got weather-resistant materials, thick padding, and internal dividers that actually stay put. It's a simple main compartment with some additional small pockets for organization, a comfortable and adjustable strap, and some Molly-style attachment points on the front and bottom of the bag. The bag does come with a strap to use for this. The bag itself has some heft to it, but still feels nice to carry, especially with a thicker strap. The strap is attached to the back of the bag, and while it pivots for additional customization, there isn't a cinch system in place. And that's mostly because of the bag's rigidity. The bag opens with a zipper, but it also has a quick release opening system, so you can keep your bag somewhat secured, but then you just remove the elastic band and open it. I will say that this takes some time getting used to. It isn't always the quickest release, especially when you insert that metal tab into it. The Llano Sling has a surprisingly solid build for the price. The fabric feels decent, and the zippers don't scream budget. You do lose some of the structure in the bag, and while the materials feel thinner, they don't necessarily feel flimsy. The strap is light on comfort, but the storage and organization make up for it, which I'll discuss in more detail later in the video. Then there's the Domke. It's a full wax canvas, metal hardware, and that old school reporter aesthetic. It doesn't feel like a modern camera bag, but that's kind of the point. This thing's built for shooters who want something simple and durable, not flashy. It features a simple flap, a super rugged zipper, and is very durable. All three of these can fit a camera and one or two lenses, but how they use that space is where things differ a little bit. The McKinnon 8-liter has a clever modular layout. I can fit my main camera, a secondary lens, and still have room for batteries, filters, and my trusty James brand Palmer knife. It has some additional organization inside the lid, but it's not a ton of room for any other accessories beyond batteries and memory cards. Other than inside the lid, there's no room for anything else unless you occupy the space used for the camera and the lenses. There are also no outer pockets. Nothing on the outside or the inside of this bag, so this is really just a camera sling. For the price point though, I'd sacrifice that McKinnon Pirate logo for a small zip pocket. The Llano gives you a very similar configuration, but with way more space and organization. For $35, I've been blown away by this bag and how it also works as an everyday carry sling. You have a ton of space on the inside, great thoughtful storage like using the space under the top lid, but also a pocket on the outside, inside, and two bottle holders. On the bottom of the bag, there's the strap system with buckles where you can put a small tripod. Tons of great storage and value in this bag. The Domke though? Totally a different story. There's no over-engineered padding or molded dividers here. You get one main compartment and a couple of pockets. You can include the organizer insert or just keep one camera and body attached to the lens in the main compartment. It also has a belt strap if you want to use this around your waist instead of a sling. You just toss in your camera, maybe a lens or two, and head out. Now this is where some of these bags start to separate. The McKinnon strap is thick and padded, super comfortable, even fully loaded. It sits flat against the body, and the quick adjust buckle is legit useful when you're moving between shooting and walking. It is permanently attached to the bag, so no quick removal. The bag itself is also rigid, so when it's fully loaded, the bag holds its shape, but because of that, it can also rest on your body a little awkwardly. The quick opening top makes grabbing your camera swift, but also secured, so you don't have to leave your bag open. The Llano has a decent strap, but the padding's thinner, and after a long day of walking around San Antonio, it started to feel uncomfortable on my shoulder. It gets the job done, but this is the main area that needs improvement. It does have a quick release strap, so it makes taking off the bag quick, but nothing quick about getting out your camera if you want to keep your bag closed. In fact, after all day use, I started to notice the zipper caught on the top corner. So subscribe to the channel for the full in-depth review of this bag. The Domke goes for old school simplicity, a wide cotton strap with a non-slip rubber weave. It's not ergonomic, but it doesn't dig into your shoulder either. If you're used to modern slings, it will feel a little dated, but if you like gear that just works, it's timeless. Let's be honest, how a bag looks doesn't affect the usability, but you want to make sure you have a bag that doesn't scream, "I have a ton of gear in here too." The McKinnon looks like a tech traveler bag. Structured, but using it, all of that just means it's durable. It's clean, modern, a bit stealthy. The Llano is right in the middle. Simple, minimal, could pass as an everyday carry sling. And the Domke is pure nostalgia. It looks like you just stepped out of a newsroom in 1983. And that's why some folks love it. It's got a great wax material and reminds me of my classic barber jacket. Classic for a reason. Alright, here's where I've landed. If you want the best all-around performer for just a camera, the McKinnon 8-liter is hard to beat. It's comfortable, weather-resistant, and just feels premium every time you zip it up. You're paying a lot more, but you can tell where that money went. But if you like to carry all of your stuff in a sling bag, this one falls short. There's just not a lot of room for your wallet, tech accessories, so you end up needing all of that in a separate bag, which just feels silly. I'm still finding my footing on when and where this bag is most useful, but I'll leave that up to you and what you think you need when you're traveling or doing a day shoot. If you're just getting started or want a solid budget travel sling, the Llano gets you most of the features for about half the price. Actually, way less than half. This is definitely my top pick of the three. You give up some structure, but you get a ton of storage for camera and daily carry. Plus, the bottle holders really help when walking around a city environment or even a short day hike. And if you appreciate simplicity and character, the F-5XB is a classic for a reason. It's not perfect, but it is built to last, and it looks better the more you use it. I've had this one for over 16 years and it still looks like a beautiful bag. Each of these fills a different niche, and that's what makes this comparison so interesting. Which of these bags fits your needs better? Let me know in the comments down below. Sling bags are great for keeping your setup light and ready to shoot on the go. But if you're looking for something that can handle a bit more gear, especially when you're flying, check out my video on the best camera backpack for air travel that's popping up here on screen. It's a great next step if you want to see how I carry a full kit without breaking the bank. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. If you found value in this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Turns out most of the viewers aren't subscribed, so it really helps out and it really goes a long way in supporting me making more content. Until next time, take care, y'all.